Welcome back to another episode of Marketing 100, where we're leading you through 100 ways to help you grow your salon business. Today is different, I feel, because I actually have no idea what we're talking about. I know Kayle just came back from an event, all excited. He's all warmed up for today, and I think it has to do with that. But what are we talking about today, Kayle?
Today, I wanted to surprise you, John. I feel like I don't get you enough gifts. So today, I'm Santa Claus, although I'm dressed more like an elf, and I'm here to bring you a very special gift. Today we're going to talk about something I think is really important and something that lately I've been doing a lot of, and that's going to events and meeting people is worth your time. That's something that we don't really talk about a whole lot, but I think it's something that's kind of important. I just got back from the International Beauty Show 2025 out in Vegas, learned a lot. I met a lot of cool people. And today what I want to do is I want to show you some of the interviews that we shot at that event. I got a chance to speak to some business owners and some like fresh cosmetology school grads and got like a really interesting perspective. Today, what I want to do is watch those videos with you and I want to live react to them. I want to get your live reaction to them and see what we get.
Oh man, I hope I'm not being rude to those nice people that you met there, but let's see what you have cooked up for us.
Well, let's dive into it, man. Let's take a look.
We're at the International Beauty Show.
Mm-hmm. This is my first one.
Your first one?
Yes.
Okay, congratulations. It's also my first one.
Oh, congratulations.
This is new for me. Thank you. What brings you here? Are you looking to network? Are you looking to further your career? What brought you out?
This industry is very big.
Huge, yeah.
And you can grow so much. And I hope to learn a lot from a lot of different people here and gain knowledge just on experiences and what they've been through. And if they can help me start my own business or what they think I should look out for.
Sure.
Broadening the spectrum a little bit for me.
Broadening your horizons.
Yes,
meeting people.
yes.
Yeah, I love it.
I know everyone wants to get services done super quick, but it's sometimes I see a lot of estheticians lack in the area of quality and the quality of service that they're giving to speed up time. Especially with lashes, you have a lot of lash artists who try and go really quick and they don't do isolation. If you're a lash artist, you know what I'm talking about. They don't do isolation and then you get lashes clumped together and then it's it really ends up damaging the person's lashes in the end. But it's I see that in a lot of areas, not even just lashes.
Okay, so I'm going to pause it here because I actually love this. So this is one of the reasons I love people who are newer to the industry, because they oftentimes will have something in particular that they're super passionate about or fired up about. She's isolation, if you know kind of thing. I love coming into the field with that kind of fire where you're you know what, this is something that's super important to me. It bugs me that not everyone does this. And I think you need to do this right. This is what I care about. I have a value here and I'm going to stake my claim on that. I love it so much.
It's great. It's just unfortunate, we often lose it maybe after a while. I think what Mary said as well about not coming from a family of business owners and now becoming a business owner herself is a big one, actually. If you're grown up in a space where it's all about having a job, that security, go to school so you get a good job and that's the whole mentality, it can kind of be hard to break out of that. Those patterns go quite deep. And when you go out to become a business owner and showing up in that way and creating something for yourself, it's actually a big deal to separate yourself from if that's family, if it's friends that you grew up with. And I think, being in places like Amaris chose to go to an event, hopefully hanging out with us here on the channel and, hearing, just connecting with people who understands what it means to run your own business, who understands what it means to kind of take on that risk, really putting yourself out there for something that you believe in. I think it's really important to surround yourself with people like that, especially in that early phase when you're Amaris is just about to break out and to do your thing. What did they say? You become the 5 people closest to you or whatever, right? If you've been shaped by people who might not have been, had the kind of entrepreneurial dream or business owner dream, surrounding you with people who have done it and have shown that it's possible. Just have a different mindset about stuff and how to go about things and just absorbing that and breathing that in. I think it's crucial, like at that stage of like, you know, creating your business.
Absolutely. Yeah. And she's fresh, right? Like she just graduated from esthetician school. She's fresh out in the world. She's taking a chance to get out there and meet people. And I love what she said. She's like, I think my view of the industry was kind of small, right? And coming to an event like this gave her better perspective on how big it really is. And she's already looking for guidance. She's already looking to see if she can make connections. This is something that like you don't always see. So this next interview is with Layla. Layla is a new business owner. She has just gone into business for herself for the first time. And I love what she had to say. I'm going to let her say it, but I think you're going to like Layla.
Starting your own business can be scary. It's a big thing. What led you to starting your own business and going solo?
So initially I did want to start in a bigger franchise just to get my foot in the door, just to see how I like it, see what I want to specialize in, stuff like that. But a lot of places weren't taking me, just I was so young, or they wanted me to be a massage therapist as well. They weren't walking around my hours. And they wanted me to start as a receptionist, and then they said it's definitely not guaranteed I'd be an esthetician, and that was super discouraging.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Yeah, so I just was like, okay, you know what, screw it. I'll start my own business and go from there, see how it goes.
Okay, that's incredible. Honestly, love that. How has your first year been, or first few months been in business?
Honestly, it was pretty good last month. I feel like I've definitely grown a lot more, and just coming to conventions like this definitely helps me see different ways I can help my clients and different treatments I can open my doors to. It's been pretty cool meeting new people in the industry as well, and marketing and like having deals with like hairstylists or nail techs and stuff like that. So it's been pretty cool for the first couple of months I've been open.
So she's been open for like less than 6 months, I think. It was like 6 or 7 months maybe that she's been open. She's brand new business. And she told me that like literally within these first few months, every month has gotten better and better and better because she's learning and adapting and changing the way she does things in real time, which is crazy. Like being successful in your first year is so hard, so incredibly hard, especially as like a solo esthetician. And I actually really love what she said, where she mentioned like she was going to go work for like a bigger company, right? And just be an esthetician for like an established business. But so many of them either wanted her to also do massage or like do other services that she wasn't passionate about, or they were like, yeah, sure, you can work at the front desk and then like maybe you can become an esthetician for us. Like all this red tape in the way of her just doing what she wants to do and what she loves and what she went to school for. And she said, screw it, I'm going to start my own business. 6 months in, she's absolutely killing it.
Love it. And it's not a completely uncommon story, I would say. I hear quite a lot of people who are running businesses, successful businesses, kind of ending up starting their business simply because there wasn't a place that seemed to like fit them in the industry where they were looking, right? And that's kind of like, okay, just need to create my own then. I just love that mentality and what Layla is doing there.
Was there like a turning point moment for you where you're like, you know what? I got to do this my way and do it on my own?
I do have a little brother, and he's now a teenager. He's going through like all the acne.
Yeah.
Like, I don't like it. So he was like, can you do facials on me? And like my friends are wanting facials.
Really?
Yeah. So he was actually a big part of my inspiration to start, and he's been helping me a lot. Like he's a main person on my page. He's referring everybody. He's like, hey, my sister, like if you want to have a facial for prom,
I
like
love
you're
that.
graduating, hey.
Yeah.
And it's opened a lot of doors for me just from learning more about acne and pushing acne treatments and seeing what different kinds of skin there are out there.
Sure.
Just for acne, and the different treatments I can do, can't do, and things I learned here too. It's great to learn more.
Her big push, her big inspiration for her business was her little brother actually wanting to get services done and like helping promote her to like his young friends and stuff like that. I've never like heard that before. Like my little brother wanted skin treatments and got all his friends to get them too. And that like helped me as an inspiration for my business is like not something I expected to hear, and something that's so sweet and like genuine. I really like that.
I think it definitely hits home. I can relate to that also as a young guy with acne. It's not fun.
No, dude, it sucks.
And
Yeah.
it's like hard to navigate. Like, what do you do? Like, do I go into beauty salons or like, you're like kind of lost in the landscape. So
Yeah.
I love how she kind of took that on as an inspiration. And that's something that we talk about on this show quite often, right? The importance of having like a why in your business and like why you do what you do. She clearly has one with her little brother. I think that's beautiful.
Yeah, there's a passion and a love there for it. And it's like, again, I feel like this is one of those things that like as a new business owner is so crucial. So it's just really cool that she's taken the initiative to do that. This next guest is Claudia. Claudia owns a skincare studio in Puerto Rico. I don't really know what else to say other than this was maybe one of the most surprising interviews that I had, and one of the like most interesting backstories of somebody going into the like skincare industry or like esthetician industry that I've ever heard. It's kind of not what I expected, to be honest with you.
When I started, and it wasn't even that long ago, I didn't feel very proud of.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know. My up brain thinks that way. But I wasn't very proud of the decision that I made. So I actually went to med school for 3 months. Yeah,
Okay.
I studied biology and psychology in college, went into med school, hated it. I did 3 months and then I was like, I'm done with this. I don't like it. It's not for me. It's not for everyone. But I was having like really bad acne breakouts. So I wanted to go into dermatology, but since med school was not it, then I went to the nearest thing, which was aesthetics. And I don't regret it at all. I get to have my own business, my own hours. I get to see results, get to meet people, which is great.
Yeah. What's like the driving force behind you in your business now? And like, what is keeping you pushing forward to keep growing?
Honestly, it's just kind of like me against me. When I dropped out of med school, it was kind of like, you're dropping med school for this. People don't look at it as professionally as they look at it now. Now, everyone is going into aesthetics business. So dermatologists have estheticians in their own offices. So it's now more respectable, but working in the industry, seeing the changes, seeing that I can help other people, that motivates me, because sometimes I tend to see even more results coming from estheticians than even like on the medical field, depending on what type of practitioner you are. That makes me really proud, and that makes me kind of like want to work harder.
Yeah.
Because it's a growing industry and everyone should feel proud in this business.
Of course.
Yeah. I was very bad with myself.
I think it's hard it's hard to be your own biggest champion. Like
Yeah.
you said, it's me against me. I totally get that feeling.
So she went to college for biology, then went to med school and dropped out after 3 months, and then just decided to get into the esthetician world. I cannot tell you how many people I talked to at this convention whose background was not in beauty. It was actually a more traditional, like 4-year education into like more traditional, like business types, and then completely switched into the beauty world and like are thriving. You know what I mean? Like I've found great success in the industry.
And clearly, Claudia is like in the driver's seat of her own life. Requires a lot of like self-awareness as well, right? To kind of, you want to go in, maybe this is it, and then understand like, no, this was not it. Let's try this instead. No, that was not it. And then, finding what it is that you want to do. Yeah, no, I think that's a very cool story.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's incredible. And to be honest with you, like, I think we could all afford to be a little kinder to ourselves. I think Claudia is a great example of this. She's successful. She pivoted. She took a huge risk and it paid off for her. And I think, it takes like a special mix of like guts and smarts to really make that happen. We talk about like, oh, going to events is great because you can like network and meet people and blah, blah, blah. Like for me, like going to events, like it's obviously different, right? I'm doing something a little different here than some of these business owners are. But like, I felt really grateful to get to meet people who gave me some perspective on this is what the industry is, or this is like, it's so much more diverse than I would have even had any idea about, This next interview, so this is Randi, and she has a really interesting story about how her studio sort of evolved over COVID, which was like a super tough time for a lot of beauty businesses. Randi was just hopscotching through success across like a really difficult time. And it's really impressive, honestly.
I've owned my business for 10 years and I was a solo provider or stylist. And then now I've expanded. I have 6 staff and I mainly do eyelashes, but I've also branched out in the last 5 years to my own product line.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay, tell me more about that. How did you decide, like, okay, I've been doing this for a long time. I'm going to take this next step. I'm going to, like, branch out and do this whole other venture.
Okay, COVID.
Okay.
Yes. So I've been getting eyelashes now for probably about over 15 years. And when COVID hit, I was like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? There was this little magical thing called the magnetic lashes. So what I did is I knew a friend of mine who was offering them for weddings. And I reached out to her and I started talking to her a little bit. And I said, you know what? I think this is a really good business venture. I think what we could do is bring this to people right now in their homes, because we all still wanted to like look pretty.
Yeah, of course.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So basically then I brought that aboard and that's where we all started. And and then it just flew off the handle from there. So as soon as we got to open up again, I started bringing in more products. And eventually the magnetic lashes kind of died off because everyone was trying to get lash extensions again.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah. So, and then that's where we kind of keep growing and keep adding more and more product.
I love that.
Yes.
I think, like, I mean, it was such a hard time for so many beauty businesses to, like, exist, just even be open at all.
Yes.
And I feel like your story is actually one that I've heard in different ways from a lot of different business owners about that time, having to sort of pivot, try new things, explore that. What are some of the things that, like, you wish you would have known when you started, or you wish you would have known 10 years ago?
Having a little bit of a different mindset. Basically, when I first got into this business was more or less for me to be home with my kids.
Okay.
But I had like no supporters. Like I came from an insurance background. I managed a huge company and I decided to switch things up because it was really demanding. And I was having kids at that time. So I needed to like, branch off a little bit. And everyone around me, including my parents, unfortunately, sorry, mom and dad, and my husband were like, what are you doing? You're crazy. Like you're leaving this amazing like opportunity in their minds to be self-employed. And like, what are you doing? But now everyone's like laughing. They're like, oh my gosh, like I can't believe we were so negative about it.
It's like taking those risks. It always feels like in the moment, everyone's like, are you sure?
Yes.
And then when it finally pays off, everyone's like, okay, that was the right call.
Yeah, I know. But my mindset back then, I'm like, am I doing this right? Am I doing this? Just know you have to go in with the mindset of like, yes, you can do this. If you put your mind to it, you can get it done.
I love that. And like your background is actually kind of unique. I feel like a lot of like beauty business owners don't come from like a more traditional, like either corporate or business background.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel like that affected like your success or your path to success in your business?
I think it helped me achieve my success 110%. Yes. Just because of having a management background, understanding insurance, the taxes, being self-employed and dealing with a lot of people who were in this type of industry, offering them insurance and like getting to know them, I think actually really helped me having that background.
This was the second person that I talked to who had a non-traditional background going into the industry and had a completely different trajectory into the beauty world and has been wildly successful at it. And Randi really came into it like, I know how to do all this on the administrative side and like the financial side on my own. And I'm going to start my own business. And when shit gets rough, I'm going to pivot to a completely different business model so that I can still operate while, having to be shut down and I can do services in people's homes. And it blew up and it was wildly successful for her. And then when COVID was over and it died down, she was able to bring that clientele back into her business.
Yeah, I think like these constraints sometimes, or in particular with COVID, right? And like having to rethink a lot of things can actually like coming out on the other side bring a lot of value, right? It's so hard to see those things like when you're in the midst of it and like dealing with these issues. But I think what she's like pointing at here that is very interesting is also like there's not like one career path in this industry, right? There's not like you do this job and then you do that job and that's how you get successful. But it's really like a mosaic of experiences coming together that a lot of like successful business owners have. And I think like anytime you start a new venture, finding your little combo of experiences and like lean into those, I think that's really what, sets you up for success and gives you like a power that not everyone else has. And clearly she's found hers and riding the wave of that now, which is super cool.
Yeah, love it.
You have another one?
I got another one. Let's take a peek. This is Reyna.
I actually got into the industry because my best friend who had passed away, she was an esthetician. I was the nurse, she was the esthetician. So we were going to bring the two fields together.
Got it.
So when COVID hit, I did not want to be a nurse in COVID. So I said, let's go to school and do what she left off doing. I've just been really encouraged on bringing the medical aspect into the beauty side of it.
I love that.
Skin.
Yeah, no, that's like super important as well. I mean, we are dealing with skin, right? Like it's the largest organ in the body. There's a lot going on there, and there's a lot of overlap with like obviously the medical field as well. But a lot of the business owners I've talked to today are traditionally educated, come from a background that's either like business or medical based. So it's really interesting to keep hearing that, because it seems like there's this common thread of success where it's like, I was doing this other thing. It really informed what I wanted to do going forward, and I've taken that forward into my business.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I love
And I think of the flexibility as well.
Yeah.
Even though, you know, you can still do both. I think just owning your own business, that's something that I just wanted to show my daughter.
Sure.
Was that like, we don't always have to work for someone.
Love this takeaway here. And honestly, super inspirational that she wanted to show her daughter that there's a path out there that you can carve for yourself. And honestly, kind of continuing the theme that we've heard today. There's this strong push for independence, which we see a lot. There's a strong push for being able to make your own, do things on your own terms. People would rather work for themselves and handle their own marketing and handle their own outreach and run their own businesses instead of having to, pay rent or do something like that at an established business.
I think also very strong, like how she's thinking about her kids or her family and like wanting to set and show you can go and create something on your own. You can choose that path. Like these generational things are powerful. Like, I don't know if I would have started a business if it wasn't for like my mother who had her own business and was a business owner. Like that's all I saw of her. Right? I don't think she's employable, to be frank, but that's an obvious choice that you can choose. You can go into employment or you run your own business. It's just like, that's one of the cards. Like there's nothing odd about that. Whereas a lot of friends around me were like, oh, starting your own, like, is that an option? Can you do that? I think those things are so important. So her wife behind her business is, I think, really cool.
Yeah, I love it. This next one, this is Allie. She came very, very, very far. She came all the way down from Canada for this event and had some really interesting things to say.
You made quite a trip to get down here to Vegas.
I did, yes. We came from BC in Canada.
Okay, so that's a whole journey. What is it about this conference in particular that you were like, we have to get down to Vegas?
Well, we knew we'd see some big brands like Lashbox LA, Paris Lash Academy. We were also hoping to find some good deals, which I did already. I picked up some product from Elibana for lash lifts. So yeah, we're just kind of here to learn about some stuff, product knowledge, see what's new and stuff. Yeah.
Love that. So you've been in business for a long time. What would you say, like, if you could go back in time, talk to yourself 10 years ago, 12 years ago, what do you wish you knew then that you know now?
I wish that I really understood when people said to me that artistry comes within. I went to makeup school. I did the whole certification thing. And, I left really feeling like I could have learned a lot from that myself. I learned so much more from just being out in the industry, working at brands, stuff like that. And, while education is good, I think, it's all about kind of like believing in yourself. And especially when it comes to artistry stuff, like finding your education from good vendors that are actually creating products that are, vendor to your brand, right? So stuff like that.
She came from BC down to Vegas for this event, which is huge, 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 huge. And she brought her whole team down there to sort of experience this thing. And this is one of the things that I wanted to touch on earlier. Like, this is one of the reasons why I think going to events is so important. Like, it's super powerful for your team to be able to see like what the industry looks like outside of your business, right? Like I said earlier, it's really easy to get sort of like siloed in your own, but like being in a room with like your peers, your competitors, you kind of get that feeling that they're in that grind too, right? Like you're in that together, and it kind of broadens your perspective a bit. And I think there's also this sort of like unspoken team building element to it as well. You really connect with the people on your teams. I mean, even the people that I traveled with that we were working with at this event was like, we got to bond, you know what I mean? It's like a field trip, you know what I mean? Obviously, I touched on like there's retail education involved, which is super important. That's a bonus. Jenny, one of the salon owners that we talked to recently here on the show, she mentioned that whenever she does a any kind of product education in her business, she sees a 20% increase in product sales following it up there for the next couple months at least. That's huge. You know what I mean? And to go to an event like this where you get free product education everywhere, there's booths all over that are doing like demos. They've got a headset on, they've got a table set up where you can like practice and do stuff like that. This is a way that you can really, for very, very little investment up front, do something that's extremely beneficial for your team, extremely beneficial for your business, and extremely beneficial for your perspective as a business owner that just makes sense.
So that's it. Events, a big one, something that should be in your playbook, your toolbox to motivate your team, learn new stuff, and just broaden your horizon. It's not you against you. There is a we and an us out there that you're part of. Let's connect with folks. Let's bring that energy in to rocket our business as we approach the second half of 2025 and the latter part of this series of 100 marketing ideas week after week right into your inbox, giving you that extra fuel to carry you through the year. We're going to leave like descriptions, links, and references to the people that you met today. Check that out. And we look forward to seeing you inside of an upcoming episode.